Ladies and gentlemen, how are you for your Tuesday night? Hope you're going well. Is it Tuesday for you? Yeah, it is. Ping has to rethink what day it is. It's good to see you all here. DJ, Lindy, Diamond Heart, Rachel, Moonlight View. Marylander says, Weatherman Ping. Hey, how are you? Nana Lana is here. Kathy Lynch. Kathy Lynch, I'm sorry you've had a bad day. Hey, Mamma Mia and Sean, good to see you guys. We have a bunch of stuff to get through tonight. A bunch of stuff, a little bit of hurricane coverage, a little bit of true crime. We have a little bit of everything. Hey, Diane, how are you? Um, we'll start off with the hurricane stuff, then we'll get into the true crime, including a very weird story out of New Zealand. I think I covered it when it originally happened, but a missing father and his 3 children who he took off into into the wilderness, into the bushland, have been spotted after, 18 months on the run. They were spotted by a farmer. Was it a farmer or a pig hunter? I don't know, one or the other. I'll tell you in a second when I get to the article. But they were spotted, photos were taken, was reported to police, but they were just never found. Like, they went there, checked it out, tried to find them. Yeah, could not locate them. So we'll talk about that a bit later. And then on the late show tonight, we're doing more on Claudia Lawrence. We're going to do a bit more on that. We're going to talk about who might be responsible and where is she today. We'll talk about that later. Nalana said, Weather Channel is saying this hurricane may be the worst in history. No, I don't think that's what they mean. I think they mean it might be the worst in the West Florida coast history, not worst in history. Worst in history is like Katrina, a few others. There's other ones that have been really bad. This will be, if it hits where they think it's going to hit, it'll be the worst one for like the Tampa region, the west coast of Florida, not the USA, not the USA. There's way other ones that were like more devastating. Yeah. Let's get into it. Let me show you what's going on with the hurricane right now, and then I'll get the camera on. Let me show you what happened overnight. So when I left you yesterday, the hurricane was undergoing what we call a eye wall replacement cycle. And as you can see today, that eye wall is now back. You can see straight through it. If I change to visible, here we go. You can see straight down into that hurricane, almost maybe even to the bottom. And it's got that great bit of cloud actually from the low pressure system in there. It's got this great little bit of cloud that's going straight down. It looks so much better than it did yesterday. Yesterday it was a little lopsided. It looked a little weak. It downgraded to a Cat 4 for a while. And then a few hours ago, hurricane hunters went into the storm and found above Cat 5 conditions again. They upgraded that again. It is now a Cat 5, and the only hope they have in Florida is there is a bunch of shear coming up from the south here and across here, across, well, I don't know what direction you call this, from the west into Florida. It's going to run into some of it. How much is it going to downgrade the hurricane? I don't know. They're suggesting it could be a Cat 3 by the time it gets there. This hurricane has done everything and anything it possibly can to exceed the modeling. Every time they brought out a model, it has exceeded it. So I'm not going to second guess this particular hurricane. I'm going to say if it downgrades, it's probably going to be a Cat 4. If we get a Cat 3, then we should be very thankful. At least, it'll still be a major hurricane, even at Cat 4, Cat 4 or Cat 3. There's not a huge amount of difference between category 5 and 3. It just means how much further your house is going to be relocated, like either down the street or the next block. There's really not that big a difference. The big difference is sort of how the storm surge works. When you get a hurricane come in like this and it sort of gathers up the water and pushes it, and that's where you get your storm surge from. When that comes in, even if it downgrades and everyone goes, oh my God, it downgraded. Oh, yay, it's a category 3. there's sort of like a weird way that that works. Just because the hurricane downgrades doesn't mean the storm surge does. The storm surge sort of has like a bit of a delay on it. How can I explain it? Sort of like when you have a storm pass your area and then all the seas are all choppy and stuff, and you're like, wow, what the hell? The storm already finished, and like that was like 5 hours ago. Yeah, it takes a while for those seas to start like winding back and dropping, and that process takes a little bit longer than just the dropping in category of the wind speed. So the storm surge is probably still going to continue and it's still going to be devastating, even if you get a drop in the category of the hurricane. So just want to make people aware of that. Just because you get a drop in category doesn't mean you're going to get a drop in storm surge. You will get some, but it won't be as pronounced as the drop in category. All right. Let's show you. I don't have a huge backtrack on this, but I can show you a little bit of what happened today. You can see it going across that ocean there. That eye wall just really crispy, really crispy. Not a lot of interference or cover. It was really open before. Right here, you can almost see straight. If you had a torch, a giant torch, some may call it the sun. You could look all the way down into the sea surface probably. It's just as the sun was setting, just when you get this sun setting, you get what they call stadium effect across this. It's beautiful. Like it looks like really pretty on the map, like all through here. You get all this golden sunshine come across it. You get a lot of detail as well. Very, very pretty, even though it's very, very dangerous. But there you go. You can kind of see as we head into the nighttime hours now, and you can see that sun disappears, turns to nighttime. And here we are overnight. So you'll get some reduction in that overnight as you won't have the heating that you do during the day. So during the day with the sun, you get a lot more heating, which means your activity tends to increase during the daytime. Although you still get a little bit overnight too. Let's see. I'd like to think that the difference between the 1900s and the 2020s are very different. That we have better warning systems, we have better education systems, we have better ways of evacuating people. I will tell you that it is the largest evacuation in Florida in something like 35 years or something like that since the 90s. This is the largest mobilization of people across Florida in 25, 30 years. It's really insane. I saw some footage earlier today of people leaving Florida. I had a look at the maps earlier. They don't look that bad. They've opened up additional lanes to get people out. Let me see if I can find a little bit of traffic on the Fox one here. They did have a lot of people traveling up and out. The airports are done. They're all mothballed right now. Here you can kind of see all the airports have been covered up and all the planes are gone. Apparently they've changed to a different airport. They've flown out already. The airports are closed down. There's no flights right now. Let me see if I can find any traffic. People getting sandbags. Let's see. There's a bit of the track. We'll show you that in a minute. I just want to see if there's any of the traffic. The traffic up north still look bad, even about an hour ago. Even though my looking at the map says that it's a clear run, there is a lot of traffic, but it's not being held up. At least that's what I saw. I can't find anything. Yeah, let's see if I can get it somewhere else for you. Let's go back to the other web page. Yeah, let's go to Reuters, and I'll show you what's been happening earlier today. This is part of it here. Look at this. Look at the lines heading out of the area.
Floridians. A direct hit on the bay would be the first since 1921.
Milton underwent what we call rapid.
Yeah, that's just a photo. They're saying here, evacuees are causing traffic jams. 17% of gas stations are already out of fuel. They're saying it's an unusual path, and rapid intensification raised concerns for storm surge impact. Yep, we've told you that. They said a direct hit on the bay would be the first since 1921, when the now sprawling Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater area was a relative backwater back then. Today it is home to more than 3 million people. And here's the expected path. This is the last one I saw too. They reckon it may come slightly under Tampa Bay now. But from what I understand, if it goes slightly north of Tampa Bay, it may actually increase the storm surge as the backside of that hurricane pushes more water up and through the bay. But we'll see. It's kind of jumped every 6 hours. It was above Tampa, it was below Tampa, it was above Tampa. It keeps wobbling a little bit, so they're a little uncertain. And even the spaghetti models today were not in agreement. We still don't have a consensus with the spaghetti, what they call spaghetti models. They don't have a consensus. They're sort of split. One thinks it's going to go up north, one thinks it's going to go down south, and you sort of have a divergent consensus. So there's half taking one route up there, and there's another half of the models taking a path further south. I'll show you that in a second too. Yeah, here's some more photos of the traffic. Look at this. This just goes forever. Oh, that's not a great photo ping. There we go. It just goes for as far as the eye can see. People just trying to get the hell out of Dodge right now. Poor people with pets. I feel very sad. People with animals. That'll be very difficult. Let's see. Let's see if I have the spaghetti models on me. And I can show you what I mean by divergent. Is this it? No. That's not it either. Okay, hold on. I saw some earlier today. I'm just trying to see if I can see some. Yeah, this will sort of do. So these show you sort of like the two. I know it's a little messy on this particular view, but you sort of see there's a grouping down here just above Fort Myers and Cape Coral. And then there's some that reckon it's going to hit further up here around Tampa. These are sort of the two main groups. There's sort of like a Tampa group and like just above Fort Myers group. And this is where they sort of diverge and split their consensus. So you get a whole bunch that think it's further south, whole bunch that think it's a little further north. I think if it hit the south side of Tampa, Tampa might be it might be saved a little bit of destruction because it's not going to be as severe if it hit slightly north of the bay. If it hits slightly north of the bay, you get that backside of the storm just driving water in as it makes landfall. That'll still happen, but not to the same degree if it went slightly north. This is one of the latest forecast tracks. You can see in this one, they've got it going south of the bay. And that's what I've seen in the last, 8 to 12 hours is the official advice is that it's probably going to go south of Tampa now, but we will see. They like to do this like eye wall wobble, and that'll affect the track over the next 12 to 24 hours. So we will find out. We will find out. There you go. There's Milton as Cat 5. There's your spaghetti models. Not tasty spaghetti, not the type that comes with pecorino cheese. Siri says Milton cost $21.3 billion and 262 lives lost on October. What? It hasn't even happened yet, unless it means in other countries due to flooding and things like that, maybe. Kathy says, oh. What is that big thing on the radar that is in front of the hurricane? They will be flooded before the hurricane hits. Oh, okay. You want me to show you that again? You mean this thing here? This is just storms. It's probably expanding maybe, or there was some activity down here and then it pushed north, and that's happened over the last 24 hours. I don't think I can go back, but there was a lot of activity south of Cuba uh, late over the weekend and Monday, and that may have just pushed north. Either that or it's got something to do with these banding. Maybe it's been spun off from the hurricane. But let's see. Let's see if we can get rain. Not that one. Weather radar. Let's go up here. So there is a little bit you can see here from what you're talking about. I don't think it's going to be like severely bad. Most of it looks like it's staying at least mostly offshore for now. It probably will come ashore a little bit up here at some point. You already have some coming over land over here. There's been storms all week over Florida. There's been thunderstorms and rain bands. It's been happening all week from associated with the hurricane, some associated with other storm systems. There's been quite a lot over the area. Let's have a look at rain and thunder. So yeah, see, it's not showing us massive amounts of rain. Fairly light, actually, just 2 or 3 millimeters for most of that. What you're seeing, and look, the winds right now are offshore. They're pushing offshore, not onshore. So most of whatever you see here is going to stay away for the most part anyway, unless these winds change and then come back onshore in the morning and you get like a sea breeze or something like that. But for now, they're moving in offshore and then into the hurricane. So I'm guessing that big massive stuff's probably going to stay mostly away. Let's go rain and thunder. Nope. Rain accumulation. There we go. We don't get a forecast model on this, unfortunately, or do we? Let's go. Hey, give me the flag. There we go. All right. So here's the forecast. Rain up until, let's go to Friday. Let's go to Friday. From now till Friday, you can sort of see where the major rainfall is going to be. They're looking from Tampa all the way through Orlando and sort of a little further north. It sort of backs off a little bit around Daytona Beach and further north of there, but you know, they're still going to get a decent amount of rain. But you can see where that real heavy red band is straight through here. At least right now, the models think this is where you're going to see the majority of the real heavy downpours. All through here, it'll make landfall, move across, and then exit around Titusville or Daytona, Oak Hill, Vieira, maybe even Palm Beach. We'll see. But you can kind of see here, what does this mean? They're looking in excess of 100 millimeters of rain. Some are like 250. So it's going to be very... Let's go just Thursday. Let's go just Thursday on its own. Let's spin that. There you go. This is sort of like the hurricane as it makes landfall. All right, there you go. All right. So if I grab this and I push it across, you'll see there it is. It makes landfall just there. And then it goes across and it leaves Florida. So you can kind of see that how much rain it's going to dump as it goes through and what areas are going to be affected. There we go. Let's back that out right now. Let me grab this. So yeah, you can kind of see it approaching. And then it exits out the other side, almost like a gunshot wound. Yeah, so that stuff you see offshore, I don't think it's going to do too much anyway. It doesn't look like they're getting that much in the days before either. You can see some light rain, but it's not like, we're talking like maybe 5 to 10 millimeters, maybe 15 or something. Not crazy amounts of rain, but You do see it when it makes landfall all through. Let's look all through there. So from like just south of Lakeland, all the way up through here near Crescent City, Gainesville, south of Gainesville, you're getting a lot of heavy rain, like 150 millimeters, 200 millimeters, something like that. It's going to be a lot. So there you go. Oh, you guys can't see. Damn it. Ping. You suck. Wait, how do I get this off? Come on. No, I don't want more photos. What is going on? The F. What is going on with StreamYard? Ah, StreamYard, don't do this to me today. I don't need it. Ah, come on. There we go. Freaking StreamYard. It doesn't like it when you got like multiple media sources open, and it just won't change when you ask it to. Here, I'll show it to you again. So I've got it set for like before the hurricane. Here, I'll show you here. So you can see as it approaches. Sorry about that freaking StreamYard. And you can see here throughout Thursday, it starts to impact straight into. Hey, let's go zoom out a little bit. You start to see those rain totals increasing. And you see where it goes all the way through Florida. And then it exits out the other side there. Let's see if we can make this a little shorter. Let's go this big. Let's go just like this. Some of these places are not going to be too bad. Let's go one day. Yeah, so you see it heading up through. It really likes that heading up into, still heading up through Tampa. I don't know if this has been updated or not, but it really still likes that heading straight through the bay. You see that? It still likes that forecast track. I don't know why. Everything has it going further south to like Sarasota or Northport, something like that, Venice. Very strange. But this particular model still likes it coming through this area. And if we expand it and we take it out 2 days, if it'll let me. Let's go 2 days. Let's go back. So let's go to Wednesday to Friday. And then I'll show you the totals for 2 days. So you can sort of see a lot of offshore, a ton offshore. Yeah, I'm actually going to back that off a little bit. Okay, give me my grabber thing. There we go. Yeah, so really is across that band, that banding. It really likes it through here, south of Dundee, like the guy in that crocodiles and stuff. Lakeland, Fishhawk. Then you get a little further south, it seems to dry up, not as bad around Lake Placid, Arcadia, not as severe. Although you're still talking falls of over 20 millimeter, 20 to 25, 30 in this blue greeny region down here, but you can see the majority of it up here. Yeah. Mostly before it hits, it's going to be, significant, but not crazy. And then you see it coming in through here, and everything just goes red. It's like a murder scene. Everything looks very, very bloody, unfortunately. And you can kind of see that massive take there. Don't do that. And then it'll go away, end up off the coast. And I don't know, where's it going to go after we get off the coast? It's going to go away. Somewhere over here, apparently. It's just going to dissipate. That's next Monday. It should be dead. It won't be around no more. So there you go. So there you go. If you haven't seen the rain totals, sorry about that. Freaking StreamYard, man. If I could figure out another software that did the same stuff that we need, I would be very happy. If we could find another software, StreamYard's got so many freaking bugs in it. Drives me bonkers. We'll have a run of like days where it works perfectly, and it'll do that for like 2 weeks, and then we get like 2 or 3 shows in a row where it completely screws up, and I click stuff, it doesn't do it. I try and share stuff, it won't share it. I share something, it does share it, but it's the wrong one. Ay, 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 ay. Freaking StreamYard, man. Yeah, it'll be a lot of water. The big thing here is probably the storm surge and any type of like accumulation of water on the ground. So because you're gonna have that twofold, especially around the bay. Around the bay, you're gonna get that inundation of seawater, and then you're gonna get all the rainfall as well at the same time. It's just gonna be a real mess in any coastal area through this area. Even further south where you see the green stuff, and even a little bit further north, you can see even what town is that? It's like Spring Hill up around here. You can still see like their colorization is still really dark. So just because you think you're north of Tampa, I wouldn't be super confident that you're just going to be all good. I would be paying attention to your forecasting and your local emergency management. Even Cedar Key, look, they're talking about like over 20 millimeters of rain, and they already got hammered less than 11 days ago with Helene. They got a bunch of rainfall. It wasn't a direct hit, but they did cop a crap load of rain already. Same with Gainesville. So even if you're not in the eye of it or the direct path, don't expect that everything's just going to be clear sailing. You may have a bit of a cleanup too. Glitter, hey Glitter. Across Central America, U.S. storm took lives of 74 people and caused 25.5 billion in damages. Michael, yeah, we said that yesterday. So people kept saying, why was it named Milton? And it was because Milton was so severe, they retired the name and they started using Milton. Milton was a replacement name for Michael. So that's why we have Milton. Even though a lot of people reckon it doesn't sound like a great name, I don't think they care. I think they're just like, we need a name that starts with M. Any name, whatever it is. They normally have like for different seasons. Where is it? Hurricane Convention USA. Let me see if we can find, because each year they have like a list that you can look at. They normally have. Okay, so they have a predetermined alphabetic list of names alternating from male and female names used, and I was trying to see if we could see. In 2021, they had a whole bunch of names. So they often do it for like the Atlantic season, the East North Pacific. There's different names for like, for each side. There's ones for retired hurricanes. So since 2017, the names Harvey, Irma, Maria, Nate, Florence, and Michael have all been retired from the list due to the amount of damage that they've done. Andrew and Katrina are also retired and will never be used again due to their severity and historical importance. They have a lot of retired names here. Look, you go to the National Hurricane Center, you can't use that. So this is why everyone's like, why Milton? Well, look how many freaking M names they've already used up. Maria, Marilyn, Michael, Matthew, Michelle, Mitch. They're going to start running out of M names soon. So alpha alternate name list. So the alternate name list is used when they've had too many hurricanes. So if you have too many hurricanes in one season, they have to pluck it from an alternate list. It's happened a couple of times where they've had to use extra names because they've sort of run out of naming. But there you go. These are the retired names here. So you guys can see how many. Irene, 2011. We all remember Irene, who made it all the way to New York, right? Iris came in after Iris in 2001. No, I think Iris was 2011. 2001. That doesn't make any sense. Was it Iris in 2001? I thought she was later. Let's have a look. No, that's not what we're looking for. Hurricane. Oh, she was in October the 4th to October the 9th, 2001. So people saying like, oh, these October hurricanes, they're so rare. Not really. The season goes to November 30. So there you go. Different retired names throughout the years. You can have a look. All right. There's your little bit of hurricane update. And I'll in the late show we'll do more. Let me just double check if we got a 10 p.m. update yet. Let's go to discussion. No, that's 4 p.m. 7 p.m. We can have a look, I guess. What are they saying? Let's go to discussion. At 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The daylight time? Okay. The center of Hurricane Milton was located. Yeah, Milton is moving. It's starting to get faster at 10 miles per hour now. It was sort of slower than that yesterday, like 5-6 miles per hour. So it's almost doubled its forward motion a little bit. A northeastward motion with some increase in forward speed is expected tonight. Yep, it's going to get a little faster. A turn towards the east, northeast, and east is expected Thursday and Friday. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will move across the eastern Gulf of Mexico tonight and Wednesday, make landfall across the south. Across the west central coast of Florida Wednesday night and move off the east coast of Florida over the Atlantic Ocean on Thursday. It's saying reports from the Air Force and the NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate that the maximum sustained wind gusts are near 165 miles per hour, with higher gusts detected. Milton is currently a Cat 5 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Fluctuations in intensity are likely while Milton moves across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but Milton is expected to be a dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west central coast of Florida Wednesday night. They're saying hurricane force winds extend up to 30 miles from the center, and tropical force storm winds extend upwards of 140 miles from the center of the hurricane. That's the other thing it did overnight before we move off this. Let's change back to our other view here. Share this tab. Let's change here to weather radar. Whoops, not weather radar, satellite. It doubled in size almost. When it went through that eye wall replacement, it made this much larger eye wall. Not eye wall, just eye. Yesterday, it also made itself a lot bigger. That's why I have to zoom out a little bit more. Yesterday, we could really get right up on top of it and get the whole thing in the frame, but we have to zoom out a little bit. You can see how it's got inflow here coming up all through Mexico and into the storm. It's got some here as well, getting dragged into it. This system is just massive now. You can sort of see it, all this inflow coming in. This is getting expended out. You got more here, more getting pushed out there too. It is a very large system heading through this land gate that we were watching the other week for the other hurricane. There was a hurricane here and we're waiting for it to get through here to get into the warmer water. So she's getting closer, or he's getting closer. He's getting a lot closer. There we go. You see the infrared. That eye, you see that eye move across the ocean like that. It's very hypnotizing. You could have that as like an active wallpaper if it wasn't so serious, you know. But it looks a lot stronger now than it did last night. Somehow got a Siri to say that. Oh, okay. I don't know how that happened. Obviously, AI is trying to confuse us and take us over. Looks like fall break will not happen in Florida this year. I don't even know if they're going to have NFL games this weekend. I'm not even sure. I think they might not. All right, let's get off this. I'll do more hurricane this afternoon. Sorry about the stupid StreamYard catching on that one image. If I could get a new software, I would. There are a couple, but they're either more annoying to use and have worse features, or they're not that dissimilar to StreamYard. All right. I want to show you this story out of New Zealand. New Zealand for our New Zealand friends. So this is let me see if I can play this video. I think this is just photos, but we'll see. Oh no. So it's video showing the dad and the 3 children from TVNZ News. There's dad, and there's the 3 little kids behind him. Looks like ducklings, right? Trudging through the countryside in New Zealand. Now, the backstory for this is very odd. There they go. Off they go. And there's a photo of them a little bit closer. All wearing camouflage. So the story is this. The man's name is Tom Phillips, along with his daughter Jada, who is now 11, son Maverick, who is 9, and youngest daughter Ember, who is 8, disappeared from the New Zealand town of Maricopa in December 2021. There had been hundreds of sightings of Phillips, and they've been reported to police multiple times, but most of them had been unverified sightings. They say the latest video is the most credible sighting of the man and the children. And the children's mother, she said she is delighted and relieved to see that all 3 of her babies are alive and seem to be okay. The children's mother, who only wants to be known as Catherine, has seen the video that we just watched. And she says, I'm so happy that they're all there. I'm so relieved to see all 3 of my babies. They're all alive. And here's a photo of the dad, Thomas Phillips. They say he's been on the run for 2.5 years and continues to evade authorities. They say investigations are ongoing, with the New Zealand Police Detective Inspector Andrew Saunders confirming the sighting was being targeted as credible. While nothing further of significance was located, investigators will now assess information gathered to determine any next steps. This is the first time all 3 children have been sighted, which is positive information. And we know now it will be reassuring for the children's wider family. The father and his 3 young children first went missing September 11th, 2021. Police and emergency services, alongside hundreds of volunteers and locals, spent days searching for the family after his ute was found below the high tide mark on a beach. Some 18 days later, they returned to the family farm, with relatives revealing they had spent time living in a tent in dense bushland. However, months later, they disappeared again, with the last sighting of the father and his 3 children on December 9, 2021, until recently. Here's a photo of the 3 kids, I think at the time. This is the son, I'm guessing, Maverick, and these are the 2 girls, his 2 daughters, this one being the eldest. The eldest girl, I mean. She's 11. Her name is Jada. They're saying Phillips failed to show up for a court appearance after going missing in January 2022 for a charge of causing wasteful deployment of police personnel and resources, and a warrant was issued for his arrest, although they still haven't found him. They say he is now wanted for questioning over an alleged armed robbery of a bank near Maricopa in September 2023. So he's been sustaining his life on the run by robbing banks, apparently. They needed money, so they decided to rob a bank. Okay. The armed robbery prompted police to warn the public to not approach him. In June this year, an $80,000 reward for information was offered for anyone that could locate the 3 children. However, this expired after 8 weeks with no result, despite 40 more credible sightings being deemed significant by officers. They say Inspector Saunders said police believe he has had help while on the run. They say immunity against prosecution will be considered for anyone who has committed an offense in assisting Tom if they provide information or evidence which leads to the location and safe return of the children. They say the children's mother, Catherine, has previously accused Mr. Phillips of endangering and depriving the children. She says, Ember is asthmatic, as am I. She needs medical care that cannot be provided from the land. Many of you say that the children are fine and they are being well looked after. Well, how do you know? Have you seen them? Or is it just bush talk? She says, what Thomas is doing is not okay. It's not okay to divide and conquer, to isolate and control. It is child neglect. It is child abandonment. It is child abuse. My babies deserve better. So there you go. I'm guessing this is some sort of custody issue. And he's decided to take off with the children and hide in bushland for some reason. I think it's also got something to do like he wants to give them like a natural life. If I remember reading about this in 2021, he wanted to feed them from the land and stuff like that. I'm just trying to see if I can find a video from years ago. Hold on. Not that one. We want... Yeah, maybe this one. Okay, can't use that. That's in Maori. Here, we'll play something from One News New Zealand. Here, I'll play this for you.
Police are winding down their presence in Marukupa, but they've plenty to work on in the search for missing man Tom Phillips and his 3 children, with 70 new reports of information. Here's Isabel Prasad with the latest.
It's quite the contrast here in this seaside settlement, 3 days after an $80,000 reward was offered for information to help locate Tom Phillips and his 3 children. The police checkpoints are gone and the police community centre has been shut down. But the officer in charge of this investigation says that doesn't mean their time here in Marukupa has been a waste.
Since we've put the reward up, we've had dozens of pieces of information come through. That's via email, calls directly to police, and from the people within Maricopa that we've been engaging with. Well, there's been no obvious firm piece of evidence that leads us to the whereabouts of the children. There is some good stuff in there that we've just got to follow up on.
That includes reports of sightings, suspicious behaviour and more locations of interest, including 50 kilometres northeast in Otorohanga.
Well, the information we've been receiving, that is actually going to take us more than 2 weeks to actually go through and properly corroborate. At the end of that 2 weeks, if we don't have the children, we'll be reassessing and looking for further opportunities as to what we can do to progress the investigation.
Some police officers will remain in the area for the remainder of the 2-week period, after which that reward offer will end. They're urging anyone with information to come forward as the investigation continues. Isabel Prasad, One News from Marukupa.
There you go. What letter are you speaking about? You'll have to tell me. Yeah, it was during the COVID period. What letter are you speaking about? You have to tell me. I read so much information, guys. You're going to have to tell me. I'm just trying to see. Have we got any live pics? I'm just trying to read back through the chat to see if I can find out what you guys are talking about. On the article you read, they had a letter from the dad. Oh, did they? Sorry, I didn't see that. I was reading the article. Let's see if it's here. This is the article. Oh, this letter. Okay, I see what you mean. Let's see. Oh, we can try and read it. Says, I don't know what to say or do to help you. Forgive me. I'm not desperate to be with someone, or I would have already done it. Okay. I don't want to be with someone. I want to be with you, Catherine, the woman I have been in love with for over 7 years. I can't make you forgive me. The only you can make that choice, and I know you don't have to. I know if I ever give up trying to make things right, I will regret it forever. I'm sorry for everything I've ever said or done to hurt you, including in these past 9 months. I have suffered every day, knowing I should have dealt with things better and knowing that I effed up in hindsight. Or he says, hindsight is great. I got, I am better now. I'm not, can't read. It's very faded here. Something not now. I know there was a better way and I have to live with that for the rest of my life. You have a beautiful personality and the happiest years of my life are because of you. You have brought me so much joy and I don't feel complete without you. I hope you can remember the man you fell in love with and know that although I make multiple F-ups, I have a good heart and I mean well. Do you now? Including taking the children into the outback. Do you? Okay. I would call this a little more than an F-up. I would call this maybe life-changing.
Kia
Hey.
ora te ao, ko kat taku ingoa, no Aotearoa hau. Hello world, my name is Kat. I am from Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. I am standing here before you today, begging you for your help to bring my babies home. They are just innocent children. They do not deserve to be treated this way. They do not deserve the life that is being provided to them right now. Today is Jada's birthday. She is 11. She will be a young woman now and she needs her mother. Ember is asthmatic, as am I, and she needs medical care that cannot be provided from the land. And I can only imagine how Maverick is coping with the hand that life has dealt him. Many of you say that the children are fine, that they're being well looked after. How do you know? Have you seen them? Or is it just bush talk? What Thomas is doing is not okay. It is not okay to divide and conquer. It is not okay to isolate and control. It is child neglect. It is child endangerment. It is child abandonment. It is child abuse. None of this is okay. My babies deserve better. I'm just a mother standing here in front of the world, begging you all to help me bring my babies home. Please, if anybody has any information at all, ring the police.
There you go. There's the appeal from her. Very interesting. We're watching about a man who abducted his children and took them off into the bushland has now have been accused of robbing banks while armed. And they do have a Wikipedia here. They say, just trying to see what the issue was. I'm sure it was something to do with COVID. Okay, it doesn't really say. But he did rob a bank last year in May, and he's being charged with that in his absence. They say that he had an unidentified accomplice believed to be one of his children during the bank robbery. And Says here, Phillips disappeared with his children again. So he disappeared with them once in September 11, 2021, then disappeared with them again December 9th. Police did not initiate a search, stating that he had notified his family of where he was going and was not in violation of court restrictions. He did not show up to his court date on the 12th of January, and thus an arrest warrant was issued for his arrest. His lawyer said he had not heard from him since first informing him of the court date, and then they said his ute was discovered parked on Mangatoa Road in late January. They say Phillips returned home for about an hour at night on the 9th of February to get supplies, telling his family that the children were okay but not disclosing their location. By that point, he had grown a beard. The police, the children's mother, and the mayor of the county said they all stated they believed he is receiving additional help from people to survive. Well, you would think that is probably true. Just trying to see, like, why did they do it? I don't know. I thought when we originally read about this, it was some sort of health reason or something to do with COVID and didn't want to comply with court restrictions or something. I'm trying to find that information. But very, very interesting he's been able to keep them alive for this long. That's probably why police believe he's had a lot of help. Because to be living in the bush for, what, 2.5, 3 years is a long time. Like some SAS type people that are from the army can't even do that. So I get why they think he's had a lot of help, and that if he really was living in the bush the entire time, you would think people would have come across him a bit more often. Let me just check a different source here. I'm just trying to see, like, why he went missing. Okay, I don't know. I thought it was something to do with health issues or that, like I said before, or something like that. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's a crime to take your children away from their mother and hide them in the bush for 3 years. Like, one of the girls should be in high school by now. She's almost a high school student. You're denying them an education and friendships and friend groups and that type of thing. Yeah, why rob a bank if you lives off the land? Yeah. Yeah, one of the kids, her name is Ember. She has asthma like her mum, and she's worried she's gonna have an asthma attack out there and won't have the medication to save her. Cakesboo said, "I'd be so beside myself. I hope they have drones out there." Yeah, he's making them commit crimes like armed robbery. Seems like a great guy, right? Sean says, until the law gives husband more rights to their children, this sort of thing will continue to happen, unfortunately. I agree. I think the courts, unfortunately, are very slanted in the mum's favor, although in the last 5 to 10 years, it's gotten better, but not perfect, although nothing's ever perfect. But it has got better where men are considered a little more that, like, they can be a sole caregiver, that type of thing. That stuff is happening more often. It's just not as level as it should be. Glitter says, I think it says he took them before for 3 weeks, came back claiming they went camping and then took them again. Yeah, so the first one was in September 2021. They came back for a brief period, not very long, picked up more supplies, and then went missing in December again. So Hugney says, I don't think the drones will help much. The bus land is so dense, bushland is so dense, you can't see much from the air. People was asking if they use tracker dogs, but no one knew if they did or not. But I'm guessing the sighting on camera is a good thing, at least. At least they know they're alive and they're still around. like they're not sick or, you know, something like that. They're still healthy and able to do pretty severe trekking. Like, you saw the area they were walking through. It's not easy. Let me see if we got... No, not that one. Let's see if we can go back to that original one we had. Like, you see the three little ones here walking through that paddock. And there's Dad at the front. And there's the ducklings following him. That looks like they're in reverse order. That's the smallest. There's the middle one, and the oldest is at the end. Then they took off into the mountainous area. See, these people knew that they were something they should take a photo of. I guess you can't stop them. They're saying, the video was filmed by pig hunters and handed to police, prompting a large search of farmland in the area this week, which unfortunately failed to turn up any sign of the group. I heard that apparently when they reported it to police, the police didn't come out for like half a day. And people were like, of course they were long gone. They knew they were spotted by people. Why would they hang around in the same area, knowing that a search was probably going to happen? They probably knew that it was they had to get out of there. Very interesting that they're all dressed in camouflage too. All the children are. Dad isn't, although his backpack is, but the children all have camouflage hats on. Very interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I hope they find them. The kids don't you know, deserve a life of trekking around the bushland. That's not a life for kids. They should be having fun, going to school, that type of thing. Yeah. It looks like they're working more than just being kids. Yeah, he'll have even more less rights in jail, for sure. Yeah. They got boars out there. Boars with the big tusks, and they have to be close to a water source. Well, I think that's why they think people are helping them, because how are they getting food and water? All right, what was I going to upload? I know. So I'm going to show you Kathy's dog that unfortunately Kathy lost today. I'm going to show you her. What is it? It's what kind of doggy is it? A Chinese crested dog. Here's Kathy's puppy that unfortunately she had to put down today. And it's what is its name? Pinky the Chinese crested. That's what it's called, Pinky. And there's some photos of Pinky with the pink hair, very, very cute, wearing all sorts of outfits, including, look at the fur-lined collar, and wearing some sort of t-shirt or a blouse. It's very cute. Yeah, so unfortunately, keep Kathy in your thoughts. Unfortunately, she had to put her down after an illness, unfortunately. Pinky in the brain. Yeah, look at the tuft of hair on its head. It looks like a girl out of what is that? What's that movie called? Grease. You know, like the pink ladies. So there you go. Kathy sent me that today. Keep her in your thoughts. It's never easy losing a pet at all. All right. There we go. All right. What time is it? 1:04. What time did we go on? I'm still not used to the time zone change. I don't know what time I'm supposed to start. I don't know what time I'm supposed to finish. I have no idea. It's all been a bit of a jumble, unfortunately. All right. I'm going to just check. We should have got an update about 5 minutes ago from the Hurricane Center. Let me see if we did. Let's see if they put out a supposed to be an update at 10. We did. We did get an update. All right, let me tell you what's going on. Now that's 7 p.m. Why do half of them say the wrong time? It's 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock. No, it's 10 o'clock Eastern, not Central Time. Central Time's 1 hour after Eastern. What time is it in? It's 9 o'clock Central Time. So we're going to have to wait another hour, unfortunately. So no update till, yeah, in an hour. Then we can tell you more about the hurricane. So they're waiting for for the hurricane hunters to do their work. Let me show you actually. Let's see if there's anyone out. There was earlier. They had 3 aircraft out. Let's have a look quickly. No one out right now? Yeah, let me show you. Normally they'd be flying around here. But if we change filters, military government. Don't see anyone. Who's this? Nope. Who's that? Nope. Not United States Air Force, but not the right type of plane. Not the right type of plane. Doesn't look like they have anyone out right now. NOAA's not here. The Air Force is not there. They must be doing a changeover. Must be waiting for a new set of people to get into the air. Pretty abnormal though. Normally when one goes back, they already have another one ready to get off the ground and get into the air. So you have like 73 and 71, or they call them Teal 71, Teal 73. They've been doing switching missions. So Teal 71 will go out. Then when he goes back, Teal 73 gets in the air. And then even today we had 2 NOAA aircraft out, a tiny one that was sort of sampling air around the hurricane. And then we had a giant one, like one of their big, I don't know what it is, a WJ-130 or something, or a WC-130J, Weatherbird. And it was out in here along with the other NOAA aircraft. So they had like a Air Force and 2 government aircraft inside the hurricane at the one time, which is pretty abnormal. Let me show you. Maybe I have a photo that I can show you instead from earlier. Let's see. No. I think we've only got one from yesterday. Ping us to take more photos. Yeah, there's the NOAA aircraft. That was when there was on the other side of the Yucatan. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Nope, don't have one for you. Sorry, we're going to have to wait until we get back in the air. You have flight radar and it shows a lot of airplanes? Yes. So I have mine filtered. So if you click here, and I have mine filtered to only show military and government. If I take this off and I go and I refresh, It'll probably show me a lot more airplanes. No? Hey, clear my filters. All categories. There we go. So there you go. Now you can see all the airplanes. But I normally have them filtered just to show military and government. Otherwise, you're going like this. You're looking through every bloody commercial airplane looking for the military stuff, and you'd be here for hours looking looking for the right aircraft. So I always filter mine, take all categories off, go to military and government, and then I'll leave it. And when we get a military aircraft out, it'll be on there. So there we go, hurricane, and no hurricane hunters right now. Not right now. All right. Let me give me 1 second. I'm going to load a different story. 1 minute. All right. I need sort of a I need, you know what I need? Ping needs like hold music, elevator music. So this one, hold on. That's it. All right. Let me load a different one for this. Fox 31. Let's go to Fox 31. Is it going to play it for us? Come on, don't do this to me. We're not having a good night tonight, are we? All right, fine. We're going to have to go to a different one probably. All right, here we go. I'll take you to a different one.
Sexual predator saw justice in a Lansing courtroom today. CBS News Detroit's Elle Myers joins us now from Lansing with a look at the case and the punishment for a man who victimized 2 women and 2 minors.
RS Knight Winfrey won't be out walking the streets for a long time after he was sentenced to a lifetime behind bars in federal prison on Monday.
RS Knight Winfrey is a sexual predator whose horrendous acts caused immeasurable harm to the women and girls upon whom he preyed.
In 2022, Winfrey lured a young woman from Italy to East Lansing under the pretense that she would be working as an au pair or nanny. U.S. Attorney Mark Totten said that Winfrey had intended to kill the young woman, but was talked out of it by a friend. Winfrey also lured a young woman from Kansas and sent sexually explicit messages via social media sites to 2 minors.
Today's lifetime sentence secures a measure of justice for these survivors and is necessary to protect the community.
Winfrey pleaded no contest to the felony charges against him back in April. Those charges included kidnapping, producing child pornography, and coercing and enticing someone to travel for illegal sexual activity, among others.
He received, short of the death penalty, the strongest penalty that you can receive in the system.
Now, Taunton tells me he encourages everyone to be mindful of who they're talking to online and don't assume someone is who they say they are. For now, reporting in Lansing, I'm Elle Myers, CBS News, Detroit.
Pretty terrible story. Let me give you some details. It says a Michigan man has been sentenced to life in prison after he was convicted on multiple federal charges that included kidnapping, coercion, and enticement, and production of CSAM. They say he pleaded no contest to 5 counts against him in April. He was arrested in January 2023 after he lured an 18-year-old Italian woman to Michigan in October 2022 under the pretext of being an au pair for his niece. Instead, he R-worded her, for hours and put her on a plane back to Italy. The U.S. Attorney Office says Winfrey was charged with exploiting 4 women in total, 2 of them minors, before his arrest. They say that he is 100% a sexual predator whose horrendous acts caused immeasurable harm to women and girls upon whom he preyed. This life sentence is necessary to protect the community and bring a measure of justice to the survivors. They say Winfrey contacted the Italian woman through allpair.com and brought her to the United States. The day after her arrival, he handcuffed her, put a ball gag in her mouth, and R-worded her repeatedly. He even considered killing her to avoid the possibility of prosecution. A second coercion and enticement charge involved a woman from Kansas he connected with on the same website in September 2022. Her family requested a welfare check by police who helped her gather her belongings and flee back to Kansas. The 2 counts of CSAM involve a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old victim. He contacted the girls via Instagram in November 2022, or that was the older girl, the 17-year-old, and the 16-year-old was contacted via Snapchat in October 2022. The East Lansing Police Department would like to thank the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Michigan for their commitment to the case. They said Winfrey's conviction on multiple charges show our collaborative partnerships were essential in bringing justice to survivors of these awful acts and holding him accountable for his actions. I mean, isn't that disgusting? What a pig of a guy. Here's a photo of him right here. What an absolute brute. That's what he is, a brute, and just a terrible. Hey, I'm guessing this is Glitter. Glitter, did you just email me? Those aircraft that you have circled in the photo you sent to me, they're probably military training aircraft. So up in the bend of Florida, actually, I might be able to show you. Yeah. So all through this region, if you look in here in the morning, let me turn the weather off. So if you look through here all in the morning, right, you'll see more. You'll see a whole bunch of jets too. They were here before. Yeah, so here's a couple. These are military training jets. And then down here, you'll see all the helicopters. These are training. Anytime you see them with the same initials, this one's Mondu 01, 039, 66, 42. That one's Banjo 19, the Tesla something 98. These are all military, but they're training aircraft. They're teaching the dudes to fly, I think. Either teaching them to fly or teaching them military tactics, like, what to do with X, Y, and Z. And they'll often fly in different formations. These are not here just for the hurricane. I see them all the time. I've seen them for years down here. You'll often see them grouped like this. There's normally some over here too, but probably because of the hurricane, they're not here at the moment. But you'll see them here, you'll see them over here. You'll see in the morning about 50 of these jets. You'll see these everywhere. There'll be heaps of them, and they all fly off the coast here. They'll start somewhere up here, and they'll fly off the coast, and they'll do dogfights and whatever, and head back and train some more. But these are training aircraft. There must be a camp here, like a military base. Because, yeah, if you check their routes, you'll see they have all these weird routes that often intersect with each other. See, they just fly around in circles and stuff, see? Like, probably someone learning to fly or whatever. See, again here, just flying around in circles. That's all they do. They're here every day. What they actually do, I got no idea. But you'll see the helicopters and you'll see the jets like that. This is only a few. There's normally more than this. There's normally like 50 of them. And they do loops and they go up here and, I don't know, do military stuff. Mosquito control. Hey, remember we talked about mosquito control? This is them doing the spraying. Here you go. You can see the plane that does all the spraying of the chemical. This is them. This is their track. They go up and down, up and down, up and down, spraying the waterways and surroundings for mosquitoes. So there you go. I hope that explains it for you. It's got nothing to do with the hurricane. The ones we're looking for would be either flying from Biloxi or Mobile or Lakeland. So if you see anything from Lakeland, Mobile, or Biloxi, those three places are where the hurricane hunters normally fly from. Hurricane hunter? Oh, it is. There he is. He is out. NOAA 42. This is their big one. Lockheed Martin. WP-3D Orion. This is their big aircraft. So they have two. They have one that's a jet, and they have this one, which is their large one. The large one normally flies into the hurricane. So there you go. Let's turn the weather back on. They might be flying home. Sometimes they drop in and out of the radar too. So sometimes they'll fly into the radar and into the hurricane. You won't be able to see them. And then all of a sudden they'll appear again. So I don't know what he's up to, but because as you can see, he's got no track. You can't tell where he's been. So I don't know. See, and he's heading to Mobile, not Lakeland. So hope that explains it for you. Cletus says, I believe you grew up on Marine Corps bases. I just thought there was a lot of hovering around the coastal area. Yeah, no, they're there every day. Nah, you can see military aircraft. Danny Mitchell says, I heard plane tickets were astronomical out of there anyway. Really? Well, there's no aircraft right now, Danny. In Tampa Bay, they flew all the aircraft, like for Sprint or like, I don't know, who's your flight companies? I don't know. US Airways or whatever. I don't know. Whoever the companies that own where you fly to Chicago or whatever, they pulled all their aircraft out of Florida. They're all up in Chicago and stuff right now. They are not up there right now. So that's probably why you would pay a lot of money for a flight or couldn't get a flight. Can I show you where the hurricane is right now? Yes. Yes, I can do that. Let's get back to our other page. Let's go back to Windy. So the hurricane's actually moved quite a lot. It's not that far off the coast of Florida now. So it's like sort of like halfway, well, not halfway, but it's a little bit off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula now. And it's sort of not too far away from Cuba. Look, it's going to graze Cuba. Look at that. It's going to get real close. Some people in these areas are going to cop a few rain bands if they aren't already. So he's over here right now. Yeah, we'll show you how it moved. Here, let me move this out. There you go, churning across the Gulf. So it's moving at about 10 miles an hour right now. In about 12 hours, it's going to be about over here, where my mouse is up here. It's going to be about here. So we're going to get close to that landfall soon. And it still looks quite powerful. What does Ping tell you? Symmetry. Very symmetrical, although a little lopsided on the bottom here, coming through here for some reason. It's developing a little bit of drag or something through here. See this? It's getting like, it's kind of like elongated shape. That's very strange. See right there where I paused it? It's sort of become egg-shaped. This is very interesting. I wonder if it's getting affected by the shear up here. There's a bunch of shear up here coming in from the west, and there's a bunch coming up through here from the south too. I wonder if that's doing something, because it shouldn't be this shape. It should be symmetrical. And if we go back a little bit, It was. Look at that. Perfect circle. Like a buzzsaw, right? And then it starts to bow out. Look at this. It's starting to... This is very strange. I don't know why it's doing that. I wonder if it's got something to do with the land here. It's either got something to do with it rubbing against the land right here, or it's starting to be affected by the shear. So there's a bunch of shear. I'll show you. So if you don't know what a sheared environment is, it just means winds in the atmosphere at different levels in the, throughout the atmosphere. You get different levels of winds just like you do on the ground. So do you throughout the atmosphere at different heights. And they can be really fast, they can be very slow. And if you have a high sheared environment, it means they're moving quite quickly. Could be at different directions. All right, let me grab... Let's go here. Let me grab you a photo. I'll show you what they're looking for. Is it this one? Nope. All right. It's this one. All right, so this shows you that wind's coming in from the west here, and there's a bunch coming up from the south, a little bit coming up from the south. It's this northern one coming in from the west. It's going to start interacting with this hurricane, and this is what they believe may slow it down or degrade it some. So you see the hurricane winds here and then here, but it's this stuff coming in from looks like Texas and the west, and then flowing through. They believe this hurricane will interact with it, and that is what is slowing it down. I wonder if that is why it's changing shape. That's what I want to know. Ping is only a meteorologist on TV. I'm not a... I only play one for money. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't know a ton. Like, I know some about tropical storms, but I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. Talk to me about tornadoes. I'll tell you everything. Let's see. Let me find my thing here. Yeah, that deformation of it is a little strange. Here, zoom out. Where's our wind? Just trying to see if it is doing something to it. Can we do weather by height? Winds by height? Let's have a look. Just trying to see if we have winds by height. Not on my free version, I don't think. I don't think on my free version we have it. Yeah. We are getting some better radar though. Now that it's moved away from Mexico, we are getting some better radar images, which we weren't getting before. There you go, you can see the radar and the eye right there. Still quite intense. Let's go to blue. Yeah, it still looks quite good, just weird about that bowing. It doesn't look as severe on this radar. Still quite strong. Yeah, alright. I'm not sure why it looks like that on the visible, but you can see sort of like that weird egging through here. We'll see if it wraps up as it gets further away from land. 2-minute warning, we've got to get out of here. Hey Nancy, how are you? Yeah, this is a hurricane. This is just I'm not sure what it is. Just storm activity, or it could be something from the hurricane that it's expelled. I'm not sure. I think it was something down here because there was a whole bunch of storms below here yesterday, and I think they've just moved north. I think that's all it is. But again, I could be wrong. Not a tropical weather specialist by any stretch of the imagination. All right. All right, we got to get out of here. Hey, I love you all very much. Come back for the late show a little later today. We'll talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but we're going to talk about the Lawrence case some more from yesterday. That should be a lot of fun. And we'll do some hurricane updates too, for sure. Let me just check here for a second and we'll get out of here. All right. Hey, I love you all very much. I will see you tomorrow. If you like this content, you want to help support this channel, those links are in the description. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you for the late show. Good night, everyone. Bye.